Here's your mother. Look, this is where we are. We're back at it.
Hola.
Soul family.
Yes.
Soul family check-in.
Should I call Belle on my
Yes.
phone?
It's gonna be wild. Hey, there you are. But she can't see us. Well, first of all,
Well,
you should
say
see each other.
Hi.
Oh my god! I feel like we're playing with dolls. Hi! Hi, I'm Dani.
Hi,
Can you
Dani.
see
Hi,
each other?
Isabel.
I can't see anybody.
No, turn her around. Turn the thing around
Let's
somehow.
go. Turn the thing around.
Like that. Can you see her now?
I see you, Dani, now.
There. Now you can see me.
Yes.
Okay, and you can see Dani. And you can see Mama.
Hi.
Okay, hi.
All right, so now we're going to go like this.
This is kind of about getting comfortable within the conversation, just that we all just show up exactly as we are
Totally.
and just talk about what is.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were saying, you were exhausted. You're teaching a kindergarten class. This is in week number 2, and you have some special need kids that have special needs in your class as far as behavioral goes. That's been challenging, yes.
Wow. Yeah, it was Monday, so after this weekend, they just forgot how to act, so.
Oh, so everybody was...
Yeah.
It's a lot. Well, it is Monday, and Dani's just back up at UNH. She was home for the weekend. One of the big themes that we've been talking about is, decision making, really, or how do we go about our lives, making decisions that are authentic to us, to the best of our ability. And it seems to come down to, it really seems to come down to asking yourself on a regular basis in any given situation, how do I feel?
How do I feel?
How do I feel? How do I feel right now? How does this make me feel? How do I feel about that? And nobody else, there's no right or wrong. Nobody else can ever tell you how you feel about something. And it's these regular check-ins to find out how we're doing.
Isabel, you're in your final year of college, but you've been literally put in a classroom where you are now teaching. You are not going to classes, you are in a classroom teaching. And so you really have now had to put on pretty securely your kindergarten teacher hat.
Yeah, the authority figure as the student to my higher up teacher. So I have 2 roles going on.
Yeah, that's a lot to juggle.
It's a lot to juggle. And the thing is that, would you say, because my sense is that, and we've talked a little bit about this is where you want to be in terms of this is the thing that you want to be doing, that you want to grow in and expand your soul work through, and it's in alignment with what you desire.
Yes.
Right.
Being with children is what I desire, and I think being in a school setting it's where they are every day. You know what I mean? You're either at home, you're at after school, or you're in school.
Mm-hmm.
And that job needs to get done. Those kids need to have someone that's there for them, and that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
You're there for the kids. You're there to bring your best self to the table in order to help these young little beings who have just left home to navigate successfully.
Many different types of homes, they need to come somewhere where they feel important, where they feel they're doing their best, and it's really important for them to feel that way, feel good about themselves,
to build their confidence, to feel secure and confident
and
loved.
Yeah, that is in alignment with your soul goals. So you're harnessing the tools that are part of your actual soul. So you are developing this position of power, this position of service that is in alignment with who you are.
Yes. Harnessing the skills and the tools to cultivate the best for these little people.
It's nonstop, They're little people. They're little souls, 23, in one room, running around, not knowing what to do with themselves. Like, things are going on in their head. They need structure. But when you're 5 years old, like, it's hard. There's so many different things you're thinking about. There's so many different objects in the room that you want to touch, you want to play with. You just want to play. And it's hard to get them to fit and follow directions. And the only reason why we're giving these directions is so that they learn how to learn and they're safe. It's hard. It's hard. And there's definitely a lot more behavioral kids in this classroom than I've ever had to deal with before. And that's been something that I've struggled with. So it's pushing me, which is really good. But it's a lot.
Wow, I can feel
I can
you.
feel it,
and
too.
Dani, can you feel her? I mean, I'm just saying, right? Because that is
Completely.
a really, really, man, can I feel you.
Really feel you, sweetie.
Because as you said, that's 23 souls, 23 exquisite creations, and 23 little 5-year-olds that need so much. I feel the weight of that.
Feel you.
I mean, my gosh, each one of those kids could use somebody, one person, full time, just focused on them. It's so powerful. And you were saying that there's more behavioral things than you've ever seen. I think that that's actually a theme. I know my niece that's been working as an educator for a long time, Kristen, Dani, talked about that. And the kindergarten teachers were saying that and these are women who've done it for 30 years, and they were saying that they were seeing things they had just never seen before.
Soul connection is so needed and so many ways right now.
Yeah.
Isabel, how are you filling your own cup?
My cup?
Yes.
You mean like when I come home? Like what?
Yeah, what are some of the rituals that you're starting to realize that you need or realize that you're doing to fill your own cup so that you get replenished so you can go back tomorrow and do it again?
Honestly, talking with other people, like seeing my friends and having things to do, resting, eating well, getting exercise,
All of that.
making sure I get enough sleep so that I can be up on time, can make my, meals so that I'm energized during the day.
So you have some people that you're connected to up there. That's good.
Yeah. A couple people, because I know my friends last semester, they had gone abroad, but they've all come back, and I've created friends while they were gone who are also still here, so I have, many people that I can go to if I need.
Oh
Yay.
my God, I'm so glad to hear that.
And I think I'll book you a massage. We'll find
Right.
a time for you to go see that woman in town and get some
Right.
body work, because that's essential.
How long did it take you to
That's
develop
nice.
those friendships?
Dani.
3 years.
3 years. Because, Dani right now, is it fair to say, Dani, that you're you have people that you are friends with, but there's not a lot of depth to it?
Yes, 100%. I have people that I can laugh with and watch a movie with. I have people that I have as company, and we have fun together, but they're not, there's no deep soul connections here, so it's hard to shift. Like I was just home this morning, it's hard to shift from being in that space to in this space where I can have fun with these friends, but I can't, there's like a whole side of me they don't know, and they wouldn't be able to connect with me that way.
So familiar.
Mm-mm-mm.
So familiar.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Especially in those first years when everyone's finding their own selves and figuring out how they can be their real self with other people without.
Yeah, it takes a little while, doesn't it, Isabel?
Yeah, it's scary. Everyone's just kind of scared.
We've talked about this whole college thing, you and I.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
This whole thing about take your 17 and 18-year-olds and put them all in one population of 17 to 22-year-olds. Isolate them and put them all in one spot. The rest of the world doesn't do that. You know,
yeah.
back in the day, if you were a farmer's son, for the most part it was boys, who wanted to be a doctor and the world needed doctors, or who wanted to be a mathematician or wanted to do that, you had to go to university. You had to leave the farm and go to where the teachers and the books were. You had to do it that way. Of course, by the time you were 17 or 18, you were a young adult. And you were there to go to school and study. And and it was a whole
And it was
different
appropriate.
thing. Yes.
At that time.
It was appropriate at
Yeah.
that time, but this whole idea of like taking your young population and sending them off to live together on a college campus. I mean, listen,
Cement building.
in cement cells. Yeah. I mean, I just look at that and I go, what are we doing?
Creating more soul loss.
More soul loss. And let's be clear that there are plenty of people, and I know Dani knows plenty of them, and I'm sure you do too, Isabel, who are like, yes, I'm so glad I'm here. I needed to get away from home. I really could. I love campus and I love school, and that's fine. But it is not for...
It's not the majority. I don't think
Right.
it's the experience of the majority of kids that go off to college. I mean,
I don't know what the numbers are, but I do know that the levels of people who are expressing the fact that they're sad, lonely, depressed, or anxious has increased and continues to increase. I mean, the whole premise is pretty crazy in my book.
agree.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, let's face it, anxiety, depression, that is at an all-time high.
Mm-hmm.
Something else you and I talk about.
Yes,
And-
yes.
And at younger and younger ages. And then we take them and we send them off for...
This doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
And I mean, at least, so it's like figuring out how to navigate things. I mean, in your case, Isabel, you're in your final year and you are finally really tracking into your soul work, which I can feel the challenges because your heart is so in it, and so you feel for all 23 of these kids. You are on your soul path. And you, am I right?
I mean, I didn't even almost come back to school.
Right. I mean, I look at this, so it really comes down to, so this is the snapshot of life as it is right now. I was saying to my mother or to, anybody, Dani, getting your degree, you'll get your degree, but what matters to me most are these soul lessons that you're getting. And the big thing seems to me to be, how do I feel? Where do I feel most empowered, most aligned, and most on top of my game? Yes, life, when it's new and you're trying something new, there are challenges. We will all be challenged. We all will. And there are times that are extremely uncomfortable because it's new and we're pushing ourselves and growing. That's part of life. But once you get through that period of it, then you have to ask yourself, all right, I made this decision. I pushed through the really hard part. Now what do I think about the decision I made? Let me stop and ascertain. Let me think about how I feel. Let me ask myself, is this what I want to continue? Is this authentic to me? Is this something I want to continue?
It's so important because you do have choices. We all have choices.
All the time we have to make choices. Yep. About where we want to go, how we want to proceed. And when you come into this life with this high level of, frequency, with this consciousness, with this awareness, with something that you're here to serve, something that you're here to give, you will be making decisions all throughout your life, but you're the one who has to navigate it like the captain of your own ship. What feels best to me? Is this where I need to be right now? I feel like in the lives that we're living, again, in the past, people were farmers. They stayed on the same land forever and ever. Then people were in the same jobs forever and ever. But now things are very fluid. And we have to constantly make decisions where we ask ourselves, what feels right to me? And sometimes you can only go on the most primitive sense of feeling in yourself, make another decision, and see how it proceeds from there. Both of you girls, and I have to say, neither of you suffers from an inability to be tenacious. Both of you know how to be tenacious and stick to something, and your job thus far in life has been to be students, and you're good students, and you do that. So I mean, like with Jesus with a parable, everything has a flip side thing. For some people, you really want to counsel, you must stick with something.
Yes.
But
100%.
right.
Yep.
But if you know that there's this undeniable sense of commitment something in your life is unfolding, you're here to serve, you want to get on the course, the path that you're meant to be on, all you can do is ask yourself along the way, how do I feel?
Am I choosing this now? Is this what I choose?
Is this what I choose now?
Is this what I choose now?
Now. And what about what is it that I've chosen? How do I feel about it now? That's it.
Yeah, and how long? Yes, I mean, there's so many questions that can be asked within that question about how do I feel, you know, how long something is, you know, lots of different questions. But that's why, you know, connecting with Soul Family and having the conversation, asking the questions, being witnessed in asking the questions, you know.
It's so
we're not on this journey alone.
Oh, God, no.
And we're not meant to be on this journey alone. You are two very, very glorious souls.
Yes, you are.
Who we've known since you were...
Before you were.
Before you were.
Yes. Way before you were. Well, this is our Soul Family check-in. And I know for me that everything in this is always a mirror. You know, I've been... Right now, I'm very industrious right now because I have a million things going on. But really a big theme for me over the past few weeks, over the past 3 weeks or so, has been to ask myself repeatedly, how do I feel? How do I feel? Very, very similar situation.
So important.
So important.
So important. You know, our intuition, even our judgment. Like a lot of sensitive people don't want to judge. We talk about that. Not to judge the other. Don't judge another. But it also informs us if we meet someone or have an experience that we're not loving or even liking, that we can discern that that judgy feeling that we have may be trying to inform us that this actually isn't the right path, the right person, the right time, the right ever, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like how, yeah, exactly. Or how am I even participating in my own life? Stop, think, feel.
Yes.
So, you know, stop and feel. Stop and feel. Instead of being on automatic pilot.
Yes.
You know.
Well, this has definitely been an interesting time for me to be an observer of other people.
Awesome.
Yes.
You know, navigating all different types of people.
Yes.
The choices of, you know. I do feel like an observer. Here.
And to me, Dani, before you went there, that was one of the things I talked to you about. A big part of life is to develop your observer. Because detachment is key. In this lifetime, detachment is key. In a lot of ways, you've got to detach and observe. Because your soul family connection is where the detachment goes away, you're fully invested, you are there, your heart is open, and the energy flows back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And we need that. I can't go through life without it. But other than that, in so many ways, walking through this lifetime, it's a lot of observe. Because people are at different frequencies and different levels. And, you know, you use the term surface level fun, right? Surface level experience. And a lot of people are just there. And it's okay. But like for the rest of us, you have to stop and just kind of observe. And keep with your own alignment.
Key.
Right.
Know thyself.
Know thyself and observe. And Isabel, you also brought up, and we talked about this last week, about having regular practice every day. In Dani's case, it was when she goes walking back from class. In your case, you're talking about making a good meal, connecting with friends, making sure that we're doing things just to keep our alignment, whatever that is.
Keep our cup full, yes.
Yep. You know, these soul check-ins are important. And remember, Dani, we talked about when you were walking back from class, I know your thing paused for a minute there. And just making that your sacred walk. Like having this practice inside yourself. I mean, that's
what I've been doing.
Yeah, good. It's a lot to maintain a high frequency, delicate and lovely and powerful spirit on this planet that is striving to be awake at all times. And there's a beautiful effort in that pays off.
Indeed. Yeah. And there's so much light and spiritual support around all of us all the time that wants to be harnessed. That's the whole purpose. Again, we're not meant to do this alone. No. We couldn't do it alone if we wanted to, but we're not meant to. There are spiritual forces of light that are available to us. We just have to connect with them and ask for help.
Yes.
Thank you, universe. Thank you, universe. Thank you, angels. Thank you, spirit guides, thank you to whomever, whatever, thank you for assisting me right now. I'm not sure how to do this myself, so thank you for helping me.
You bring up a very, very good point, because one of the reasons why I don't feel alone, and sometimes I crave alone time, just because I'm not alone in my alone time. I'm with a legion of light, and I just need to feel that, and I just need to be with that, and then I can sort of go back into whatever it is I'm doing in my life.
But to cultivate that connection
Right.
with your words and your intention, to really connect with the unseen forces of light, connect with your guides, connect with your angels, connect with the universe, however that feels right to you, but have that be a practice. Because boy, when you really consciously connect with the support that's all around you, it gets easier. But you have to remember to do that. First thing in the morning, set your intention. Thank you, universe, for getting my back today. However you want to language it, but start, because whatever you focus on grows. Whatever you make it conscious. Have a conscious practice where you're connecting with those energies and asking for their help and their support, and watch what happens.
I agree with that 100%. You're doing God's work with 23 little children, right? And so, believe me, the entire universe wants to assist and does not want you to be depleted in that work.
Exactly.
You have gone up to your university, Dani, and you are emerging as the incredibly powerful and beautiful light being that you are, challenged by this situation that you're in, which you may or may not stay in. You might make another choice, but harnessing the help of the universe right now to go, hey, Dani, we've got your back in this. Observe, observe, observe. You are learning more in some ways than you've ever learned in your lifetime about yourself, and about how to be here, and about how to navigate for you and you alone.
Right on.
So this is a powerful time, but please, both of you ask. The laws of the universe are such. If you ask, you must receive.
Universal
The
law.
laws of the universe are such. If you ask, you will be answered.
You must ask.
But you must ask. You must ask.
Write that down
Yep.
in a few different places,
Yep.
and start to really practice it consciously every moment that you get, and watch what happens.
Yep. And we'll do the same.
Yes.
One last thing so you can both get back to everything that you're doing. Arden picked a couple of cards here. We might as well at least. What'd you pick? This one was for...
This was for Dani.
And this one is heart-centered. Heart-centered.
That's mine.
Yep.
Heart-centered.
Arden picked that for you. Heart-centered. Be in your beautiful heart.
Oh, that's so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
This was Isabel's.
This is Isabel's. Speak from the heart.
Speak from the heart.
Whoa.
Speak from the heart. Now, there you go. With all those babies and even adults that you are working with, you just speak from the heart.
Because
you are an old soul. And when you speak from your heart, you are speaking from mastery.
That's where the soul resides. It's
Yep.
all heart. It's not mind. It is in your heart.
Yep.
Your intuition. Your knowing.
Yep. We love you both like crazy.
Love you so much.
Insanely
I love
crazy.
you all so much.
So much. So much. Isabel, yay. I will connect with you about setting up a massage for you. And,
Great.
because,
Oh my God, my babies. I'm just
Yes.
going to put you over here again for a second. And we will do this again next week. It certainly makes my heart feel full.
Me too.
I love you. I just love you both so much.
I love you guys. Love you, Dani.
I love you.
too.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
all. With all my heart.
Bye, babies. There's your Isabel D. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Oh, my God.